A pleasure to meet all at last, and welcome back to films I should have talked about years ago. For today, let's get some bonus content in because it's been a little while since the last time that's ever taken place. But of all films I ever want to talk about that are brand new here in 2022, I feel like I've talked a little too much about theatrical releases. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Nope, and quite a few others. This whole year alone, I've made a lot of nice trips to the theater to watch what's new. However, in terms of streaming platforms and any other sort of exclusivity that goes on to other known platforms or formats, apart from the movie theaters that we can go to nowadays, I've actually managed to find some pretty cool stuff. On Netflix, for example, here I'm going to be talking about The Sea Beast. Yeah. There's probably not going to be a whole lot for me to say on this, but I'll simply do what I can to piece it together in my own words and in the perfect format possible. So, possibly anything at all. But what The Sea Beast is about an orphan who leaves her home in pursuit of sailing along the ocean waters, hunting and killing giant sea creatures. Yeah, for a Netflix film, it honestly doesn't really seem all too bad. A lot of times, Netflix can do very well on its own. I have in fact talked about Netflix exclusive movies out there, from Rim of the World to The Ice Road. So, I've definitely had my fair share of Netflix-based film viewing by any means. And The Sea Beast is probably going to be not much different from that typical Netflix quality, which certainly is on par with most major film companies. The likes of Warner Brothers, Universal, and of course with major blockbuster companies like Disney and Pixar, it seems that we're going to be getting a lot of great stuff from them even today. A lot of people are going to put so much criticism against the likes of Disney for the matter that it's starting to get a little ridiculous. Why go hating on the new Pinocchio remake? I mean, come on. Remakes are remakes. They're intended to bring a new generation of audiences into the mix. We can look at the original anytime. Just don't watch the new one if you're not going to like it. Goodness. But it's great to know that these new remakes for Disney are at least coming out on Disney Plus, so we don't have to pay a dime for those. But hey, we still gotta pay every month just to use the platform. But back to Sea Beast. I really do like the concept of utilizing the hunt for giant sea creatures along the open ocean waters, because it does in fact relate to some pretty big things that have been going on. In real life, only about 90% of the oceans have ever been unexplored. 90. That is a huge amount of water that we have to go through. So that's a really, really small percentage of what's been accurately mapped. There are plenty of trenches and deeps that have ever been recorded. Probably the most famous would be the Challenger Deep with James Cameron's Challenger Deep Adventure. But overall, I do highly recommend The Sea Beast because the animation quality on this, compared to most other films that we've seen animation-wise, actually is pretty dang good for what we have in more recent times. So it's just yet another peace of mind that Netflix basically owes to all of us. How it could actually be as good, if not better, than most other major film companies. Netflix themselves has actually been contributing to a lot of big events in the same way that we've seen to such big companies like McDonald's, Pepsi, and AMC Theaters. There's tons of really big multi-billion-dollar corporations that somehow happen to be turning a new leaf every now and then. So this is some really good news. If we can have such big multi-billion-dollar companies start giving away money to the poor and the needy and all those that are really needing it the most, then this is just the first big step to a whole new generation of American turmoil If we can actually allow for something like this to happen more often, I'd say our problems could be fixed. Hunger, war, disaster, all of that could actually be averted. My official scoring to the Sea Beast, however, in regards to when I viewed it, is probably only going to be a bit of a meager 6.8 out of 10.1. So it's not really a perfect film by any means, but a lot of people seem to like it for what it is. An animation film about sailing the open waters and hunting down a giant red monster, plus some others along the way. There ultimately isn't that much I can point out here. I could go and talk about the cast, I can talk about the plot that unfolds otherwise from what I've already stated, but I've only seen it once. I still have yet to dial into everything that I've come to see in this one film alone. One of those examples where some films just aren't easy to piece together into words. But you're probably going to see more of that. I've been able to crunch some numbers and also get a lot of other viewings into other films, so definitely do not miss out on anything. And the way that you can avoid anything related to missings would be to like, subscribe, comment, follow me on social media, and stay on the Hollywood side.